My name is Shannon Blankinship, and I'm a candidate for Soil and Water Conservation District in Group 3. I want to thank everyone for coming out, for watching this video, and for learning more about the elected leadership here in Jacksonville, because it desperately matters who our candidates are in our city in order to have a city that thrives with representative leadership for our base here in Jacksonville. I'm running for Soil and Water because I believe that Duval County desperately needs more focus and more appreciation of our water resources, because our water is directly linked to our economy here in Jacksonville, and these two things are very important. I have a background in a bachelor's degree in natural resources and environmental economics from Purdue University. I have a law degree from Florida Coastal School of Law here in Jacksonville. I have work experience as an environmental scientist for an engineering firm working on waterways. I have experience with the Florida Department of Environmental Protection working for subaqueous lands permitting. And I have more than 7 years of experience working in the nonprofit sector to help protect the soil and water resources here in Jacksonville and in many other rivers throughout the East Coast. I think that water is especially important here in Jacksonville and here in Florida for our economy, and we need more people engaged in the threats and the issues facing our waterways, which is why I think Soil and Water is a good place to really get engaged and to get active in some of these issues. When it comes to elected leadership, some of the things that I think are extremely important to have are people who care about these issues, who are passionate about these issues, who understand the issues affecting our waterways and here in Duval County, and people with ethical leadership qualities that can make sure to attend the meetings, to put in the time necessary to try and see through the objectives of this board so that we can actually have an outcome in the coming years and accountability for the board, and then see what issues, what values we think are most important for our water resources here in Duval County. Some of the things I'd like to do, first, I think it's very important to empower communities, citizens, and neighborhoods with the information necessary to know why your streams and creeks are imperiled. If you don't know the reasons why your creeks are in trouble, then I don't think that we're going to be able to be held accountable for helping to repair those creeks. Thank you all so much for giving me the time this evening or this afternoon, and I look forward to your vote in November.
What is the need for a Soil and Water Commission in Duval County?
There's a need for Soil and Water Commission here in Duval County because our lakes, our creeks, and our rivers are desperately imperiled, and we're not doing enough to try and turn that around. Our economy is linked to clean water, and whether it's because of tourism, whether it's because of our fishermen, whether it's because of the businesses that rely on our waterways like marinas and boats, we need a thriving waterway here in Jacksonville in order to help bring our economic prosperity back up.
What item would you introduce to the commission for the taxpayer to fund?
So most of the objectives that I have stated for Duval County Soil and Water are all going to be volunteer based. Not only is this a volunteer position, but empowering neighborhoods with information about why our creeks are impaired is free. Being more accountable to the taxpayers about what we're doing in office is free, and having more on-the-ground action projects to show people, to bring people out, to show people what we can do on our waterways. These are all free things. At a minimum, the state is required by law to have notice meetings. So we have to have a budget in order to have staff, so that we can have regular monthly meetings in the open, in the sunshine, where minutes are taken, where the meetings are recorded, where we have an outcome. And so these are the sorts of things required at a bare minimum level to allow the board to exist. But the activities that we promote, that we encourage, our initiatives and our programs are at their base level, not taxpayer supported.
How will the needs of the Soil and Water Commission be funded?
So the needs of soil and water, as I stated before, are mostly going to be the administrative functions of having an active board of volunteers. And that right now is state funded at a very low level and is primarily volunteer based with the commissioners on the board itself.
How is the Soil and Water Commission taxing authority administered?
So it's my understanding that there are not any soil and water districts throughout the state of Florida that are currently using the taxing authority of the board itself to create an independent special district where taxes are kept. And I don't believe that Duval County uses it, and I would not promote or encourage the use of a special taxing district here in Duval County for soil and water.
Are you fiscally conservative when it comes to spending taxpayer money?
I am fiscally conservative when it comes to spending taxpayer money for soil and water here in Duval County, because I think that in this board there's so much that we can do that's going to be volunteer based and community supported and not require an expenditure from our taxpayers. And in fact, having initiatives that are completely volunteer based and community service oriented give back to our city financially because of the lack of resources that the city needs to spend to do a lot of these cleanup projects that they currently fund.
Would you like to make a closing remark?
I would. One of the things that I've always found to be very difficult in trying to pick a candidate for Soil and Water Conservation District is that there is a lack of information about the candidates provided by the candidates to the voters. So what I've done on my website, it's www.shannonforsoilandwater.com, is I've provided the publicly supplied bios for every one of the representatives running for Soil and Water, so that you can see the candidates that have chosen to put the information out there to you to make an educated and informed decision. All of the bios of each of these candidates is on my website, and so I'd encourage you, even if you don't want to vote for me, to at least look at the website and decide for yourselves who you do want to vote for. And I'd also encourage you to vote for at least someone who has decided to explain why they're running and why they think this board is valid. So thank you so much for your time.